Hi, we need to talk about this new video the Department of War just put out. It's a new propaganda, and it's incredible.
Assistant Press Secretary Riley Podleski, and welcome to this week's DOW Situation Report. Thanks to the strength of our Commander-in-Chief, the United
Starting off strong, dear President Trump, dear leader, this is North Korean level of propaganda already, but let's continue.
States announced a 2-week ceasefire with Iran. In other words, the new Iranian regime understood that a deal was far better than the fate that awaited them.
Okay, so that's just deal you're forced to take, a deal you can't refuse. We're going to genocide your people if you don't do a ceasefire. And by the way, this isn't something Trump wants to do. This isn't the art of the deal. This is him flailing around, and a 2-week ceasefire is all he can do to stop himself from bombing oil infrastructure the entire world relies on. So this isn't a win for the Trump administration that they have a ceasefire in a war they needlessly started. But sorry, continue.
Our warfighters made history with their overwhelming victory on the battlefield. As Secretary Hegseth and Chairman Kaine reiterated at a press briefing on Wednesday, the United States Armed Forces dismantled one of the world's largest militaries, using less than 10% of America's total combat power.
Which we didn't have to use going to do a needless war. And so we're spending, that much more money, giving that to Lockheed Martin and Boeing to buy more missiles from them. Great, so happy.
We owned their skies, wiped out their navy, destroyed their missile program, and
okay, so she says we own the skies. Wait for that. That's going to come up later. Wiped up their navy. They still have a blockade. We did not do that. And then what was the last one? She said destroyed their missile program. Yeah, we said we destroyed their missile program a year ago when Trump bombed them again for no reason. He said that would be destroyed for decades. And yet we're at war with them again. So either I don't believe you. There's no reason to believe you. Yeah, that's it. These are ridiculous lies they're spouting over and over again, expecting the American people to forget a year later.
Defense industrial base useless. President Trump has made history and has done what no other president had the courage to do before. Over
Thank you, dear
Easter
leader
weekend,
Trump.
The United States military proved once again why we possess the greatest fighting force the world has ever known. On April 3rd, an F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jet was downed by enemy forces in Iran.
They put, service members' lives at risk for no reason. Again, just to be clear.
Within 48 hours, our armed forces executed 2 incredible rescue missions that involved more than 170 military aircraft.
So spending that much money in our taxpayer dollars to go save somebody that didn't have to be put in harm's way, just to be cleared. And by the way, that means we do not own their airspace. If they can shoot down our state-of-the-art technology, then we don't own their airspace.
Deployed into hostile airspace, facing gunfire at close range, taking extraordinary risk to rescue their fellow service members. When the second crew member activated his emergency transponder, his first message was simple but powerful. God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit came through. Shot down on Good Friday, hidden in a cave all Saturday, and rescued on Sunday. Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, just saying that, comparing them to Jesus. The amount of Christian nationalism they're ramming down people's throat is abhorrent. It's ridiculous. And they're just expecting people to swallow it. Church leaders don't want this. They don't want their Christianity, their religion, being forced on everyone. They don't want it to be tied to Christian nationalism. They want religion to be separate from the government, which it should be. And they're trying to force this down people's throat.
As President Trump said, we will never leave an American warfighter behind. We will move heaven and earth to bring them home.
Okay, a good way to end this off. Trump, again, taking credit for a problem that he caused. He got into this needless war with Iran. Trump wants to spend $1.5 trillion of taxpayer money on this war so he can make oil executives even more rich. It is ridiculous. And then he's saying that, look, I spent so much money on more planes to go over there to save this person I put in danger. Shouldn't have been in danger in the first place. I'm running for state house in one of the areas with the most veterans in Tampa Bay. They don't want their brothers and sisters being put in danger in Iran. They don't want more needless wars. What they want is better VA benefits. What they want is mass transit. What they want is better health care. That's why I'm running for state house here. To to make life more affordable, to make life at home better, not make life abroad worse. If you want to support me, then like this page, comment on this video about what you want to see change, and then share my content. That really helps me beat big money interests and get our message out there. Have a great day.